Yeah, we got to drop him down a little bit for you, bud. All right, looking back at the Fresno State game, it's kind of simply put, what did you see, and what could you guys maybe do a little bit better in that game?
Tackling, playing more physical on the edge, and just executing what our coaches assigned us that week.
Some of the younger guys. Is it just gonna be a matter of getting them on the field in a few games, getting them a little more comfortable?
Oh yeah, experience is definitely a big factor. We got a young defense right now. We're getting better every week, and we're progressing. We'll be better.
How's everybody's confidence out there? There's that fine line where you want to have that short-term memory you guys talk about, but also learning throughout the whole process.
Yeah, it's definitely in the back of our mind. But again, Fresno is behind us, so we got other games to worry about. It's a long season.
What do you guys need to do in terms of the pass coverage right now to shore that up?
Just play with better eyes. The plays that they got us on, they schemed us up, and we got to play with better eyes. There's stuff we can do to prevent that, and I'm pretty sure we'll get that done.
So it's more of the mental side of it than it is the physically getting beat side of it?
Yes, definitely.
Where is the confidence right now in the secondary?
The confidence is always there. The coaches never let us get too low. As a DB, you got to have confidence. You can't get too low or too high about any play.
How do you do a good job of defending like the double move? You talk about your eyes and stuff. How do you really go after that?
It's basically your eyes and then reaction. Double move. You see him break, you break, and if you see him move again, you got to go.
I guess with Coach Lake, he preaches you guys to be so aggressive. I don't know, when they sit down or when they initially cut, how eager are you to want to try to jump that? Out of your aggressive style.
It just depends on which defense we're in. Some defenses we could be more aggressive, and some defenses we'll have somebody under us where we'll just stay off of it.
This defense has been so dominant for so long around here. How hard is this, for particularly a guy like you've been around and seen the way that it's supposed to look and then to see it struggle? How hard is that for you guys?
It's hard because I was here when the Jerron Johnsons and George Ilokas were here, and just seeing those guys lead, I got to step into those shoes and actually pick the defense up and step into a more of a leadership role.
What can you do to try to speed that process up and get these young guys ready to go a little bit faster?
Just being more vocal at practice on the field, and just keeping those guys' confidence up even when something goes wrong in the game.
When you first got here, there were probably very few teams in the country that would throw the ball 60, 65 times in a game. So how much have you kind of seen the game change a little bit? And with everybody really spreading everybody out now, there really is a lot on you guys in the backfield.
Well, we like to thank Chip Kelly for this spread offense with all these passes. I think he really patented that. And the game is changing. People are starting to want to throw the ball more because, they got faster guys, and, we just got to be ready for it.
Southern Miss throws the ball, and they got that kid from Cal, quarterback, who transferred. What do they look like on tape? Better than their record indicates?
Yes, they're better than their record indicates. Those they have some guys, that can really make some plays. So, we'll be keeping an eye on those guys.
In your opinion, is Derek Carr better than Keith Price?
That's a hard comparison because I think both of those guys are NFL guys, got NFL arms, and make great decisions.
I think Southern Miss has a true freshman. I think it's #1 who's got a bunch of catches. What do you see out of him on film?
He's pretty good. Shifty guy. They like getting the ball to him, so we'll have to keep him bottled up.
Those quick screens and hitches over to the sideline. What's the key to defending those?
You gotta, first off, you gotta get off blocks. You gotta see the ball thrown because they got us on the end goal last week. But when they do throw the ball, you gotta come set a hard edge, and then the Calvary's gotta come.
Southern Miss is the worst takeaway ratio, I think, in the country. You guys looking your shots at all this week?
We're always worried about turnovers, but everybody's going to give us their best game, so we gotta create turnovers.
Anything you see on film that makes them turn the ball over a little more?
I think those guys, they probably a little ball security, maybe, but when you're running the ball, you're not thinking about it, so.
I know one of the guys mentioned you guys are emphasizing turnovers in practice this week, but it's a hard thing to really emphasize. What do you do to try to work on that or emphasize it?
anything we could do. I mean, we got a turnover circuit where we're ripping the ball out of each other's hands and stuff like that, you know, knocking the ball down or running through bags, catching balls and stuff. So, you know, they're really trying to emphasize turnovers this week because we didn't get any last week.
When you play these spread offenses and they do these quick passes, does that make it harder to get the interceptions because it's hard to get up on them?
Yeah, it's definitely harder because, I mean, they're throwing the ball at the line of scrimmage or behind, and it's really hard to get the ball opposed to a drop back pass.
No, Pete talked the other day about offensive linemen getting down the field on pass plays and maybe stretching that rule even a little more than originally. Is that causing trouble for defense in terms of reading what's going on out there when the offensive linemen are 3-4 yards down the field?
Yeah, because, you know, those are some big dudes, and you got to see around them, and then you got to dodge them. So, you know, they take up a lot of space, but, you know, it's something we got to deal with.
Are they releasing faster than they used to with this style of offense? Are they getting downfield more?
You know, they've been practicing it more, so they're getting better at it.
You're a prideful group, obviously, the defensive backs. How do you look at what you guys have done and how, I guess, motivated are you guys to kind of get things figured out back there?
Oh, we're definitely motivated. You know, we just got to keep our confidence up at this point and just keep moving forward.
It's good, sweet.